because he is ultimate for the wisdom. When you become human, the Kundalini starts in Mooladhara. There he sits in Mooladhara. That is why it's so important. All the knowledge, all the wisdom, all the evolution starts from Mooladhara. The deity for that chakra is Ganesha. That is why it's so important. For the first time in my life, today I got to see Ganesha's face. How can that be? All these years it took. Because one of the doctors in Beaumont, he is from an ancient village from south, someplace, Trichy, someplace down south, Madurai. There is an ancient temple. There they have Ganesha before he was beheaded. That is mythology. And that temple, they have that Ganesha. So he brought the picture and showed it to me. And I wondered why it took so long for me to be able to see his face. So none of you have seen his face. You see only the elephant head, which is very symbolic. All these are symbols. Each one is very deep symbolism underneath it. All our deities are very symbolic because they don't have really a physical form. They're cosmic energy. But the rishis have felt the various aspects of that particular cosmic energy, that deity, and they visualize. And from that visualization, vibration starts. It becomes a bija. So that vibration is fundamental. That word for vibration is called spanda. Spanda is fundamental. Even before nada came, the first thing which started was spanda. What is spanda? She decides, mother decides. Let me create trillion, and let them experience me, and let me experience them. Why should I be all alone? Pure consciousness. Nothing but that pure, undivided consciousness. She's the only one. So she goes to that place. I was there on your behalf a few months ago. It's called Gauri Kund. It's up north, close to a city called Agasti Muni. Because Agasti Muni did the meditation before he met Lobamudra. But there is no Lobamudra, only Agastya. That city itself is named Agasti Muni. There will be probably 100,000 people in the city. Close to Chandravadana is the name they refer to Mahamaya. It's up north, in the top of the mountain, about 70,000. Devi Chandravadana, and it's close to that place. So I was there on your behalf. Every yatra, every place I get the privilege to go, I go on your behalf, because she knows when I think of all of you, she thinks of you too, because that cosmic vibration becomes familiar with my thought process. When my thought process wakes you up, which it does, with all of you, I think of. I may not know your face, but I know you. Because you must have met many times. Not in one life, many lifetimes. Otherwise you won't meet here in this most auspicious place where she is building the most magnificent temple. That temple you see starting to come up, it'll take a year and a half. Mahamariam's Sannidhanam would be ready in a month, and you can get to see, and we will celebrate Navaratri there. It will be a magnificent temple inside. But the main temple will take a year. And that place will have the most unique features of any temple. 33 aspects of her she wants to manifest. 33 aspects. That means we have to give her 33 Sannidhanams. Each one will be like a little temple, each Sannidhanam. So we'll get to see that. No place in the world has that many Sannidhanam for each cosmic energy. It's all one, but she vibrates differently, slightly. So that is Spanda. That's what starts the whole creative cycle, that vibration. And then that results in sound, nada, om, that comes after. The first is the vibration, spanda. So the most ancient word would be spanda, the vibration. The right word probably throb. They have divinely throb, with full of love, she throbs. From that comes spanda, and from that comes nada, from the nada material form. And we are one of many trillion forms she creates. And in that place where I went, it's called Gauri Kund, she went and meditated. She told Shiva, she split into Shiva Shakti. She's one. And she sends Shiva to Kailas. You go and do the dissolving function. Because whatever I create has to dissolve, otherwise cycle cannot go on. So you go and do the dissolutory function. I'll create the creative function. You know how much it would have taken? I'm just guessing. Million years. Because trillion life forms, she's writing stories of each life form. So they will come and act out their part. That is the story of creation. That means trillion life forms. She writes a story. And she gives, we are one of them. One of trillion. From one cell to multiple cell like we are. We are very complex organ. And Earth. There are planets which are much more advanced than we are. But in Earth, we are the most advanced because we have the highest level of consciousness. Because we need that high level of consciousness to think abstractly without seeing any of it. We didn't see the creation. I'm talking about physical creation, not even conscious creation. Just the physical creation of the world, of the universe. We can think many things. Beginning at 300,000 years, we know what happened. But before that, there was no form, just gaseous mass. There was no material. It took that long for the material to form, and then the life forms form. That is a creation. And that creation is physical creation. There are two different creations. One is physical, that's what we study in the science books. We study scientific basis of the creation of Earth, our universes. And she just thinks and creates one universe. Now they say there are many universes, multiverse they call it. So all this to think, we need abstract thinking. Humans have abstract thinking. They say animals don't, but we don't know that. How do we know? How do you know? The animal doesn't think abstractly. It probably does. We don't know. We underestimate many of the animals. We underestimate them, their level of evolution. They probably think they're sitting quietly contemplating something they are contemplating. So we think about the dogs, they don't have the ability. I think they have anything living has the ability to think, to contemplate. And from that comes thought process and advancement of brain. And the brain evolution itself starts with the thought process. The first thought comes, then the language comes, the sound comes, then the language comes. Then different levels of advancement of language. Then humans are the highest. That's why we are considered as highest, and we can abstract think, meaning abstractly we can think without knowing. That's why we knew what happened 14 billion, 13.5 billion years when the universe formed. Within 300,000, first 300,000 we don't know. What happened we don't know because no light. So without light we cannot know. So we have to wait for that. That took 300,000. Then we saw the light coming. Then we realized how the molecules form. The gas, hydrogen, nitrogen, basic gases. Then from there, they expanded and they exploded. Supernova. That's one generation. Then second, another supernova, another planets, galaxies. And we are probably third generation of nucleogenesis. Maybe fourth, we don't know. We think we are third. So we are really children of suns. We are suns, children. Because they all, I say sun for the star. We call them star. So when it explodes, the heavy metals form. That's why we have iron and all the heavy metal. Otherwise, the beginning there was only nitrogen, hydrogen. There's no substances. Is it that? Okay. So today, think of Ganesha because he is Adi Devata. He sits in the Mooladhara. He gives us the knowledge, the gnosis. He gives the ability to abstract things and give us our level of evolution, which is very complex, depending on your story, your evolution. You as a human, we are all similar, but each one has different story. Each one of us have different story, and that is our story. She wrote it. Then we act out. So many 14 billion years almost from that one simple organism to complex organism like us. So that is the origin of our species. That's human. There are many, many species. There are many civilizations. The dinosaurs, the big creatures, lived for 150 million years. Don't you think they would have evolved for 150,000 years? So many types of dinosaurs, million or so. So they would have evolved. We don't know, but now we are finding fossils. We think they really had some advancement, these dinosaurs. But they lived to be 150 million years, their life cycle. So definitely they would have evolved to a very higher level, not to human, we are the highest. Then she stopped it at that level 65 million years ago. Then new life started. We started with the simple organism, then we became complex. And as human, we are the most complex in this age. So this is, in a nutshell, is what she did. She wrote each one of her story. What a great sacrifice would it be for her to write our story. That would be a magnificent sacrifice. Only she could have done it. And then she lets us act. Each one of us, we are the actors. What do we do? What do you use the acting for? Our karma. Whatever karmic repercussions we have, we act out. And that becomes one movie. So there must be trillion movies she wrote. And that's the beauty of that place where they called her Gauri, because she was the highest tapasvi. Nobody could do tapas like Gauri. Only Shiva could do. She went to Kailash. So she stayed here and did that. That's why she's called Mahatapasvi. Nobody could do that intensely and that sacrificially. She loved the organisms, the life forms so much, she created them. She wrote the story and let us play, let us act out. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.